I think just a little bit. There you go. Hello, my fabulous friends. We are at that point of the day where I have moved my party into the kitchen. What you gonna do? Before I wash the breakfast dishes that are all waiting right here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my dinner rolling. I'm gonna do some rice and beans. I have my pressure cooker here. And I have rice, beans. I'm gonna put some sausage in. And I got my onion to put in. Put this onion. I found the garlic or the lemon press I was looking for yesterday, so that's nice. And got my chopper. So I figured, you know, it's so hot. It is so hot. I love these knives. I found them. They are edge keepers, but they have a sharpening blade right in here. So every time I pull my knife out, it gets it sharp. I like that, especially because I am not a cook of the world. So I definitely like anything that helps. Another thing I always do so I don't wind up crying is as I peel my onions, once I make my first cut, I take them over to the sink and rinse the moisture off of it while I finish peeling it. And I don't know, it just keeps me from having to cry. So go ahead and rinse that a little bit. I don't know if that helps anybody else or if that's really true. I had also heard if you cut the center part out and don't cut the very center of your onion, you don't release the oils that make you cry. Who knows? I think you're either an onion crier or you're not. Kind of like a lot of things, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and I rinse everything off that I've used with my onions to get the oils out of my life. However, to use my chopper, I just definitely need to cut it into a couple pieces. And this is onion dicing for those of us that never learned to dice. Let me turn the camera so you can get a better angle. Whew, the dogs and I just got back in. We had been over. All right, let's see. There you go. You can see me there. Now, all my dirty dishes are here. You can't see those, so that's good. Just push those out of the way. Wouldn't that smell fresh? All right, so we're right here. I am going to take this onion and chop it. I also find if I don't have it under too much, my old lady fan going to stay nice and cool, and it will blow the fumes of the onion away. Yep, that's the only way I can do a fine chop. I love, you know, I kind of think, hey, I saw you pop in, but I didn't see your name. I think it was Patrick. If so, give me a thumbs up so I can see it again. I think with the beans and all, tonight I am going to go ahead and add some okra I have. I think a little bit of okra will be nice. Maybe not all of it, but at least a handful of it. I love okra. So anytime I get a chance to use it, I'm going to use it. And it's so healthy. It is literally so healthy. So yesterday's dinner I had made was I made a Mexican, well not Mexican, well yes it was. We're calling it that, but I made bowls. So I did the rice, yellow rice, and the refried beans, and black beans and corn, and the black beans and corn and onion I fried. And after going to Chalupa, and it costing the other day $40, I had to say that's not feasible in my life anymore. This comes apart to be washed, so I can go ahead and pull the parts to rinse, and that's very nice. So, with that being said, that's what we did last night, and it was a hit. Everybody loved it, but I was talking to my daughter who does not live at home. She is adulting elsewhere. And I said, you know, the good thing about that is if you make something, especially as a single female or a single man, anybody living alone, say you cook as if you're at home. So we cook a lot. But you can actually just get your, you know, your quart freezer bags, and you can put your soups or your salads or stuff right in to there. You don't have to have plastic containers, and they'll actually sit up pretty nice in your freezer. She is living alone, so it's just her to use a huge freezer, so she has plenty of room. What I'm doing in my steam pot over to the side is I am layering. So I had rice on the bottom, and then I had my beans, and I used black beans, kidney beans, and white beans. Then I did a layer of spice, and now I'm going to just chop up these okras and do a layer of okra. Ooh, these are like really frozen because I just decided to use them, but that's all right. As long as I don't cut my finger off, we'll be all right. And after I get everything layered real nice, then I will add my waters. I'm gonna add probably 7, maybe 7.5 cups of water. In my first 2 cups of water, I did not have bouillon, so I had some bouillon powder. So I went ahead and mixed that. It's over there kind of melting. You know what, I'm going to take this real fast. These are very frozen. While I'm waiting, I'm going to run some warm water on these real quick. Just okay, I just saw a little bit of freezer burn popping up, which means I really need to use all of the okra. I had opened this bag a month or 2 ago, and I froze what I needed to, but let me show you. You can see right here. Let me come in on you. This, see how it is starting to be affected? See how this is a nice solid color? Let me turn this on. There you go. We might be able to see. This is starting to have a little bit of freezer burn on the okra itself, where this has a little freezer mark here, but it's green. So I wasn't planning on using as much as I'm going to use. But because of the freezer burn, it's a use it or lose it situation, and we're gonna use it. I just ran it for a second right here under some hot water to, yeah, it all, use it or lose it. But while this is thawing, a few more seconds, I can cut my sausage. I'm gonna do a layer of sausage in there. So I'm gonna put this to the side to let it thaw. It's just still a little bit frozen. I am not going to pre-fry my sausage, but you can. That is 1,000,000,000% up to you. You know what else I have that I want to make is I have a recipe to do portobello mushrooms in the air fryer. And I have never done that, so I need to. Ooh, I just bought these lines and they have marks that they're gone bad. See, that makes me upset because I literally just bought them. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use that one. That one. I'll save these two. But these other ones have gone bad. Ah, I hate that. I just went shopping on Friday. They have been in my refrigerator, which is very cold. Okay. I am using a turkey sausage today because whenever I bought it, that was what was on sale. I'll do a layer of this, then I'll go back with my layer of okra. Actually, I really want my layer of okra. No, we'll put that on top. All right, so I'm going to cut this evenly, I hope. I'm going to spread it around my pan. So the beans, I have, like I said, 3 types of black beans, which is going to definitely add my protein. And this is just budget cooking. I am making so much. I adore, let me show you. All right. I have this size container. It's a McCormick and it has a screw top. And I got it at the dollar store. And it is perfect for a single serve, individual person. So if I'm making a whole entire pot that is going to serve probably 15 people because coming from a large family, I still cook for about 15 to 20 people at a time. Those are great to store, and then I can pass them on to family members. I can pass them around. It's just a nice single serving size. Or I can also use my freezer bags. And to do a freezer bag, I set the freezer bag, I'll show you after. This is a nice wide top, and I can set my Ziploc bag, my freezer bag into here to hold it while I fill it up. So I'm gonna do a layer. So I have my beans, my rice, and now I'm putting my meat. I didn't brown it, but you can. I definitely, hold on, I gotta change the camera. All right, hold on. There we go, we over here. See me? So if you brown it, yeah, it's better. But this will definitely add a nice flavor to my mixture. And then the next thing, we're gonna put those healthy okra. So even though it's a poor man's meal, I guess you wanna say, we have our carbohydrates, we have our proteins, we have a big source, huge source of proteins. My young man, my son is working, he's working outside, he's doing physical labor, he's in the sun, he's in the heat, he needs calories. And my husband, bless his heart, he's so lovey, but he also, you know, enjoys an evening meal that has just a little bit of body, and it will become his lunch as well. So with that being said, that's where we go. Let me hit this okra one more time to try to soften some of it up. I'm glad I checked because I would have hated to have wasted all of this because it got freezer burned. So now I know if I open a store-bought okra, I need to use it pretty fast. Yeah, now I definitely know. It's already a little but yeah. Oh, my sister made me pickled peppers. She used a pickling recipe and she had banana peppers and it is so good. Let me show you what she made for me. So her pepper plant is just going over and over. Now, she didn't fully seal these with wax or anything, so they have to be used. but she pickled peppers for me. Isn't that wonderful? That's what she did with her last garden, and they are so good. Sometimes I actually really look for salty, so that's nice when I have it. Thank you all for coming in and listening to me talk. I am really bad at multitasking, and I definitely can't see the screen right there, so I can't see who pops up, but I sure do appreciate you listening to me and giving me a few watch hours this evening, or probably not this evening, but in a little while. I am going to go back to my live reading of the book I was reading. I am really kind of enjoying it. It's a reading from a dictionary of slang from 1866. I love when things catch my interest. So I'm reading that right now. I do realize on my nut channel I need to do something. I am contemplating ideas. Like, I'm really contemplating ideas, and I have so much kind of looming that I'm not quite sure where all I want to go with it. Yeah, so I'm glad I checked this. This okra piece looks not so great. Does anybody, how is everybody's garden going? Mine is a little rough. Mine is a little rough. I kind of started it as if I knew what I was doing, and I didn't. I've never, ever had a garden. I've done some container gardening in my life. And with that being said, what we have out back, it needs to be a little more organized, a little more spread out. I definitely am so thankful to all of my YouTube friends. I have some friends that are amazing gardeners, and not only gardeners, but not only flower gardeners, patio gardeners, growing gardeners, but farm, like crop, growing container gardeners. I mean, I have some really fabulous friends that I definitely need to go hang out in their houses for a while and get some secrets. But in the meantime, so today, this pot of beans, once again, it has the bean, the rice, onion, okra. It's just frozen okra, but it was time to use it. A layer of onion. So we'll see. Will it turn out like a soup, or will it turn out like beans and rice, a little bit hearty? I don't know. I am flying by the seat of my pants, and I will convince everybody that lives here that it was made this way for their pleasure. Yes, I will. I also found another website or another YouTube page. I love it because it's a granny or an auntie that has all the hoodoo information. And I grew up listening to hoodoo stories, all the stories of hoodoo. And I know all my darling African friends in Kenya and Uganda and Nigeria, let me know what's your favorite African way to cook your okra. I throw it in soups or fry the pieces, and that's kind of that. I don't have anything more fancy for it. So let me know, because, you know, okra was brought to the United States during the slave trades. So it was an African product. It was definitely carried over. So I want to know from my family over there in Africa, how are you using your okra? What is your favorite way? Now, I know one of my friends had made okra juice one time, like just, yeah. And there was an okra challenge going around, and she drank it, and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know. I'm like kind of chicken of that. I am. There's something so satisfying in popping those little ochre beads. Okay, so I'm going to use these lines that are lining not well. Oh, look, I just found one more. Let me chop it. I think one thing that was really cool when I was looking through the Library of Congress for stuff to read also was books and plays that have gone out of fashion. And I think because I'm using the U.S., all right, ready, I'm going to squeeze this. I'm using the United States, their Library of Congress, but it is so interesting in the United States how much of history, how much of the newspapers, how much of everything has a white male European slant. And I'm saying European because, not to throw shade on Europeans, but so many white-skinned people came over from Europe at the time. And these major newspapers that were writing were definitely written with that slant. All right. I just find it interesting. I just love reading old things and some things that have fallen out of fashion and why did they fall out of fashion. And I understand why my daughter wants to go into musicology and do research on this stuff with music, because it is so interesting. It really is. All right, guys, how are we doing? Is everybody still with me? I just squeezed 2 lines into this. Why? Because they needed to be used. And that's kind of how I'm cooking at this point in my life. So right here in my beautiful measuring cup, I went ahead and got some chicken broth and I mixed it up. This is 2 cups. Well, I can tell you liters even because it has it right here. I am using 2 cups. Nope, it didn't tell me in liters. It just says 2 cups across the board. 2 cups. 1 pint. No, that's still English measurement. All right, that's 4. Okay, so the recipe called for 6, but I've added a lot of stuff, so I think I'm gonna do 7. I think I'm gonna go for 7, just because I used dehydrated beans. All right, my beans are floating, everything is floating. Now here comes the tricky part, and the part that always makes me say bad words. Okay, that's down and my top is closed. I am the worst using this thing. Right. Open. All right. It's closed. I put it down. And, I hope this is good. And I turn it. And now I need to pressure level. We're going to go more. All right. Rice, bean, chili. Should we do it as bean chili? Pressure cook. All right, I'm going to push pressure cook. It's on high. And I want to go for 25 minutes. And I'm just going to leave it there. And hopefully it won't say it's run out of water. Okay, now it's saying it's on. Everything is sealed tight. Like, back in the day, in the United States, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, pressure cookers used to always explode always explode. I will have to pull up some articles. So I was always told, don't play with it. You don't want to mess with it. You know, that's how you sealed your jars, your cans if you were canning, but it was so dangerous. People were blowing up. So what I'm gonna do is stand right here, and I'm gonna move this up to there. So I set it on this counter that's above me, so if it blows up, it's not gonna blow up in my face. That's dinner. We now officially have dinner ready. I am gonna make some lime juice later for my guys that are working outside. I think it'll be very invigorating. They'll really enjoy it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And now it is time to clean. Clean the kitchen. So, is everybody else surviving the heat wave? It is brutal here. Brutal. And I did have to take my old lady dog to the vet today. She went to get some blood work because I was in a little teeny tiny car accident. Anyways, the whole thing. Friday night, my car went into a ditch, but my dog flew off the seat, so I had to go. I started giving her pain meds because the doctor had given me pain medication because she's so old to use if I ever saw her in pain, just to have something on hand. Well, I started giving her the pain meds because of the car accident, saying she fell off the seat. She has to be sore. She has to hurt. There's no way she's feeling okay. But all of a sudden, by Sunday, so this happened on Friday night, by Monday, she's walking around and moving better than she has in 8 months. She feels so good on these pain meds. So I called the vet and said, can we leave her on these pain meds? You know, she's an old lady. I didn't know she was in pain. I just thought she was having a little difficulty moving, and because of her nerve damage. Yeah, I did. That was causing her the stiffness and the hunching in her moving. Well, turns out it was pain. So she is feeling so much better. And we had to go, in order for her to stay on this medication though, they had to check her liver levels. All right, so they're checking the dog's liver levels, which say that 3 times fast. Liver level, liver level, liver level. My question is, you have because this medication can damage the liver. That's the side effect of this medicine they're giving her. And it's one of these catch-22s. Okay, so the medicine might damage her liver, but it got rid of the pain, and she's a 15-year-old dog. The official lifespan of this dog is 12 years. So she's lived longer than her life expectancy. So do I say liver damage, whatever, that's just how it's going to be, it's okay? Or do I worry, okay, I mean, you know what so that's the dilemma. That's just, it's like truly, you know, with pet owners and with senior management, whether it's a dog, your mama, your daddy, your grandparents, whatever. With senior management, I think sometimes it comes to hard choices. What do you do? If my dear Summer Jet lives for another year. It will be a blessing, and it's not expected. Like I said, her life expectancy is 12. So should I not give her the pain medication that is helping her move better, because it might damage her liver, yet she is 3 years past her lifespan. She's lived 3 years longer than most dogs of her breed. You know, it's so that's the choice we're in. We're kind of looking at our options. I do really like the vet that we use. I think that she's very down to earth. She's very aware. She's kind of, I know she'll work with us honestly, because this time last year we had a dog that we had to say goodbye to because of a pancreatic tumor that started to bleed, and she was on board to let us try what we had to try. And then when we found out 2 weeks later, I called and said, it's time. She was like, okay, good, you know. So I really do trust this vet, and I think we can have an open and honest dialogue. And I think as going into the years of senior living, senior whatever, that is absolutely invaluable to have somebody that you can trust, that you can talk to, that you can figure out what's going on. The next thing I have to figure out is why my mother, Mommy, I have been trying to call you for a week, and so it has other family member, why we can't get a hold of her. But I'll take care of that as soon as we wash and put away the dishes. And then we have our dinner all ready for these men in this house that get up at 3 a.m. to go to work. And the other one leaves here at 6 o'clock, but he's working outside in this heat all day long. I have his drink. Well, like, I think I love being a helicopter mom, so I'm so excited that I can be at home to make him. I have his like enzyme replacement drink. Actually, it is, I'll tell you exactly what it is. I have this liquid IV already mixed in the refrigerator. He walks in the door, I can hand him his drink, and then still feel a part of his life. Yeah, I am still that mom. I really am. I really am still that mom. I think I am going to call a couple of friends though that have young men that are the same age as my son and say, oh, what are we doing? Let's go out. Or children, you know. So to celebrate independence and young adulthood, and I don't know. I believe in celebrating all the milestones, because we never know when we'll have, that's our last milestone, you know? I really like this. I really like my juicer. Wow, there was more dishes sitting on my counter than I knew. Well, that juicer needed to be extra cleaned. So, I did that. Ooh, slimy. There's just something about okra slime that makes me happy. I'm gonna have to do a video. You know what makes me happy? Slimy okra. It just says summer. It just says absolute summer. I really do like that series I've started though with my shorts. That's called, you know, Love It, or Things I Like, Things That Make Me Happy. Because I love, love, love. I don't know, certain things just make me very happy in life, and I think it's a great time to just celebrate the happiness of it all, right? I think so. Wow, I really should have probably done these dishes at 6 o'clock this morning. Oh, that's crazy. To do your dishes right after you fix your supper. The worst part is, though, I'm on a live, and my husband supports my live, so he knows. He knows I'm not washing dishes till after lunch, getting them all straight while I cook the dinner. He's got it. It's all right. It gets done. It gets done. And that's what matters. My mom calls one of my sisters Inspector Gadget. But I'll tell you what, I love me a good kitchen gadget. There's just nothing better. I have 2 green tomatoes. I need to set these outside so they can ripen up real quick. Woo-wee. Holy Hades! It is hot. Hot, hot. That hasn't started cooking yet. And my solid bowl. My sister has me using collagen, so I use this spoon as my collagen spoon. It's huge. So another day, kind of almost in the books around here. We have I released a video. If you haven't seen it, it is about me speaking different languages than one of my children, and to honestly be able to look at somebody, my child, and say, hey, are we talking a different language? Has really, really, really changed the dynamic. And it has opened up for them to say, so one of my children, I have another video coming out about how she's a goldfish, but I had my son come forward and say, Mom, when I first walk in the door from working in the sun and in the heat, and I went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I need to catch my breath. I need to go take a shower. So it was really good to be talking about that. Then he was able to open up about what he needed. And I need my kids to succeed at life. So I am very happy that we're able to have these discussions, and I hope everybody else is as well. Look at that, it's almost all clean. So just to recap, in our pressure cooker we have rice, 3 different kind of beans, sausage, onion, spices, and then lime. Yeah. So it should be good. It should be good. And it'll probably make enough to feed an army, but that's what we got. That's what we're having. That's how we cook. Hopefully it will not burn up. All right, so we have the first part done. All right, I am here. Y'all just enjoy that clean kitchen. I had printed a recipe just to give me an idea, and I will throw that up with my recipe. There you go. I do have, ooh, I have another video to make. Ooh. I do. Summer, where are you? All right. Summer's recovering from the vet. I just came up with a great video to make as well. I did. So how about this for a video about treating your partner as a king or queen? Do you do that? You know, my partner treats me pretty freaking amazingly, and I need to be sure that I'm treating him that amazingly as well. And yeah, I think I need to make a video to remind myself, hey, are you treating your husband like a king? Because I don't think there is a problem putting your partner on a pedestal if they do the same and you're treated the same. And I am, by the grace of God, treated like the queen I am. And I sometimes think that I fall into non-gratitude when I need to really be sure I keep myself in a state of grace and gratitude over a relationship that has lasted since we got together and started hanging out in 1996. Got married in 1998. And that's a lot of growing up, a lot of changing, and a lot of work, and a lot of sticking by each other's side, because she might be crazy right now, but I know the good. He might be off the wall, but I know this, you know? And the journey is pretty amazing. So, yeah, I think my next video, I'm gonna do one. I have my goldfish video coming up next week. So the week after, I really am gonna do one about treating my husband as not as a king. Yeah, I mean, you can use those words if they're common, but just treating my husband so special that he wants to come home and feel special. And am I doing that? Am I making sure I'm doing the little special things? And that role from time to time definitely flip-flops depending on the dynamic of life. I'm bogged down and crying out in tears with kids and 3 jobs and doing this and doing that, and you know, everything is underlined by a hurt. Yeah. And then you realize, wait a minute, you know, we were supported. I was supported. The times when when there were reasons to look at things harshly, I was looked upon with a kind eye. And I think that the same with my husband. And I think right now we're really going into an amazingly stable period. Can I just tell you guys, I love that Donnie stuff. Yeah, so we're now going into this new chapter that's just kinder, it's gentler, the romance is back, baby. You know, the secret messages, the little kisses. Yeah, I think there's so many ways to appreciate those that are in our realm, whether it's our partners, our parents, our children, our friends. what are the ways we celebrate those relationships? I mentioned to my son this morning, because he's going out to work, it's 500 billion degrees. And I said, Daniel, how about, do you want me to wash your clothes this week? I know he's been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go out to work in the sun. I'm here. I'm here. Not only am I here, I'm here looking cute. I'm here in the air conditioner with all my fans around. Look, like all of my fans around. I am here being cool. I'm here, and he's off working a 40-hour work week in the sun. You know, I don't mind washing the clothes. I know you can wash your own clothes. He's been washing his own clothes since he was 7 years old, 6 years old, since they were young. I taught my kids how to do that. And he said to me, that'd be great, Mom. You know, and I just, even that kind of still makes me feel good, because I can still be a part of my kids' lives. And I feel like it's a meaningful part. Because without me, he'd be wearing dirty clothes. No, he would have to do it on his day off. But honestly, when you, this weather is no joke. It was in the 90s the other day, and it said the heat index was 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Put it in your computer and figure it out for Celsius. It was a lot. But that's just where it is. You know, I'm happy to do this thing. So, yeah, I think the video of elevating others, that's what it's going to be called. Elevating others. Because in our roles within any society, we always have to elevate others. And to cheer each other on, and to have others, no matter who they are, know that you're special to me. You matter to me, and I love you. Wow, that was a deep thought. But now I got to write that down as my next video I'm going to make. Because I think it's really good. I think people get like so wrapped up in crap. They get wrapped up in ridiculousness. But our job is to elevate and cheer for each other always. And when things need to be adjusted, we adjust them. But when things don't, we just keep on cheering, baby. We keep on cheering. So, with that being said, where are we? I got 10 more minutes left in this live. But then I am going to finish the dishes, get all of my containers put away, and then I'm going to go and do a live reading of that book of slang. It's kind of boring me, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to read the book of slang from 1866, but I will definitely go and check it out. Let's see. All right. See what's happening with it, you know? So that's my next part of this day before my men come marching in. It's pressuring. I don't hear it starting yet. I guess it's still heating up. Still trying to create that steam, baby. Create that steam over there. I'm so glad I cleaned my cabinets and I know where my stuff goes. We still haven't cleaned the pantry. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I can't believe today is the middle of the week. Wednesday, hump day, hump day, hump day. But it is. That was my energy for the day. You guys got it all. Okay, so breakfast is cleaned up. Dinner is dinnering. I just checked. And yeah, we're gonna go read. I am going to go read the rest of The Sling while I sit next to a fan. Tell you what, I walked the dog this morning, and then the dogs went to the vet, and now they're both asleep. That vet, the smell of the vet, the sound of the vet, being at the vet's office is exhausting. So they are asleep in their spaces. All right, guys, I'm almost done. I hear steam escaping, and that's what always bothers me. There it goes. I have to stay next to the pot because when the steam starts to escape, for some reason, I don't think my weight is balanced correctly. But now it's not leaking anymore. All right, so now I can put it on 25 minutes. Or hopefully it'll do itself. Boy, that took a long time for all that water to heat up to steam. But it's there now. We have it. So my daughter called me. My daughter called me last night about her oven. An oven. A lot of stoves where it has the top burners and you have your oven have a self-cleaning. And you flip the self-cleaning switch right here, you push it over, then you push the buttons for self-cleaning. Let me tell you, if you turn your oven on to self-clean, you have to have it locked, but it will go to, I think it's 700 or 800 degrees. It goes way higher than what the temperature is in order to burn off all the food that is left dripped in your oven. Therefore, when you're running your oven on self-clean, you will 100 million billion % smell a chemical smell because you have the insides heating up, the metal is heating up to a temperature it usually doesn't heat up to. Then you also get smoke because things are burning off. Stay calm, open your windows. If you have a self-cleaning oven, only use your self-cleaning oven in the spring or in the fall when you have your windows able to open. So that is my self-cleaning oven message. The other thing was she has air purifiers. So she called me and she said, "Mom, the air is at 0% pure." And I said, "Well, because it must be smoking." You're okay. You can either turn the self-cleaning off now or let it go through a 4, 5, 6 hour cycle. But it's okay. What you're experiencing is normal. And I love that I did the same thing. Therefore, I knew what she was talking about. So anyway. All right, my friends, what do you think? We're done. We're going to reconvene. I'm going to finish reading that book before the boys come in. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get my water. I'm going to go to the other room. Thank you for being on my lunchtime live. And here we are, finished with another day of It Is Too Hot to Cook. I brought out the pressure cooker. Hopefully it works and everything tastes great. Let's take a look. Oh, I hope it's not out of anything. All right, it said it just started its 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm the worst with pressure cookers. But here we are. We'll check back. I hope it turns out good. Pray for me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And whatever you do, stay cool. And remember to celebrate those that are around you because they're the ones that celebrate us. Stay fabulous. Love ya. And I'm coming to sign.